Okay, so listen, let me show you something. I felt like I may explain this to people. So, how does destiny swapping happen in one of the most, let's say, famous cases? Okay, so here's one, let's say, special person. Let's say an earth angel is born here, right? AKA the person who has significant amounts of higher energy or divine energy or galactic powerful energy, born here, okay, in the human vessel, but their energy still remains of galactic powerful energies. They're born here. What happens next? They have natural frequency that's very high vibrational and that doesn't work with other people that are earthlings. And people have a natural, okay, natural, uh, easy inclination for jealousy, especially with those that don't fit in. If you don't fit in, natural jealousy towards you. What happens next? Yeah, people may argue with me that people are inherently good, but Earth's vibration, pretty much so, is very grounding. What is grounding vibration? Low. What is low vibration? It can get low vibrational. In the worst meaning possible, when humans become very egoic, right? Egomania. Egomaniacs don't just like suddenly become so. Obviously, it takes time for them to become so. But back to the case of this divine seedling, let's say, okay? If, and frequently, they have very karmic obstacles they live in. So, here, they experience one after another difficulty. Let's say this is a big difficulty, a smaller difficulty, someone didn't want to be their friend, etc., pushed out, and suddenly first cancellation in childhood. First cancellation for divine seedling happens in childhood. First group dynamic where they're pushed out for no reason. The reason is unseen. It's actually their vibration. They are high vibrational naturally. Naturally high vibrational. What happens next? In short, they slowly, after these happenings, okay, they recover, but a child, right? You still have human psyche here because you have to adapt. You still on this earth, when you live on this earth, you have human ego. You have to adapt. What happens next? Slowly deteriorating, side by side. No support system. You're a weirdo, etc., etc. Continuation. And what happens? Obviously, you start to be convinced. You start to be convinced that you are not special. That there's nothing about you. Nothing about you is special. However, as a divine seedling of higher energy, you definitely could have been told in your life that you are special by esoteric people, by healers, shamans, esoterics. You definitely were told that you are special, at least twice. People can't ignore that energy that you have naturally. And as a result, you may not see it because you receive it extremely rarely, and more so, you just irritate people because of the low earth vibration that puts them into the egomania stage, or they're low vibrational, and your high vibration irritates them. High vibration, reminder. Another thing here, okay? Gonna delete this. Another thing here about high vibration is this. High vibration. I think I picked the right one, hopefully. Oh, never mind, this is an it's this is a quite nice one, but no, I want a more simple color. High vibration. As above, so below. What is this? the tree of life, the golden tree, blah blah, the all-knowing sacred tree, the roots, and the top. Now, some of you explained to me, why do you call people who know their roots their shadows? Okay? Shadow aspect. Why do you count those that know their shadow as low vibrational or demonic? You're supposed to know thy shadow in order to know thy light. You cannot know thy light without knowing thy shadow. It's interconnected, it's interlinked. From the roots of the tree, okay? From the roots of the tree, it goes up to the branches and to the top. It's all interlinked. This is the divinity. This is the divinity. Without knowing thy shadow, you cannot know thy light. And by drawing this, what am I explaining here? That this is the high vibration. This is the high vibration. It's the full, whole, high vibration. Hopefully I made some people understand this with all this freaking drawing. These are interlinked, and this presents the highest worker. Whether you call it which light worker, the highest level of knowledge is possessing the knowledge, is being in the knowledge of both roots and going to the top. You can't just be here or here and call it full one whole knowledge of divinity. Okay, so this is the high vibration. And by basically being in this high vibration naturally, the star seedling, the galaxy divine light, okay, is irritating those that don't want to learn about their shadows, and the ones that know and are aware, but they know and are aware, but by choice they refrain to live in ego. Choice of ego. Ego-centered living. Okay? It's a little bit unusual to write on the screen like that, okay? Like, my writing is different with the pen. It's not as chaotic as here. But I hope I explained to you what that means to be naturally high vibrational. So as a result, this is how basically destiny swapping, the most famous one, happens. As a result, there are many low vibrational people, and we have human psychology. Oh god. Psychology. We have some human psychology still, because we live on this earth realm, and it has the earth vibration, grounded approach that we still have. And having both the higher being with human psychology and the psyche of a galaxy being the higher being and vibration of higher being, they're constantly pushed by these other low vibrational people, pushed out, demonized for being different, for nothing, basically for sole existence. And as a result, this divine being starts to be affected psychologically. Psychological effect, okay? Especially a lack of support system. Yeah, but I want to remind, divine beings' lack of support system still keeps them much more intact than other people. This is how you can know that somebody is a divine being, basically, right? Divine energy, galactic energy, intergalactic stuff. because they can function still and remain in their light, in their whole being, even despite the obstacles that are constantly shattered around them, constantly trying to penetrate their energy with evil ass intentions and shit. Okay, evil ass meaning like dirty intentions, dirty egoic, very ego based motivations to destroy something that's different because they don't want to grow. They don't want to grow. They don't want to change. They want to remain in this low vibration particular. Not in a good sense of Earth's vibration grounding sense, but in a low sense, in the minus, in a bad sense. And this plus irritates them incredibly because it's a very strong one and it counteracts their attitudes. Hopefully, I explained nicely. So that's that for you. This is one of the most famous cases of like destiny swapping. This is all my knowledge. This is everything is channeled by me. So that's that. I shared with you my sage knowledge. You're welcome. It's not. It doesn't have to be called destiny swapping. It can be called just any way that's connected to destiny shaping, how it affects person's approach to their true node. That is their north node. North node is the true node, the destiny, astrologically, for example. Okay, so thank you for being here. Hope it explained something for people.